So first let's understand what is probability, right? So probability is something that we sort of use in our life a lot, even without us realizing. So what we generally use, rather than the word called probability, we call it like, chance. Sometimes we link into the luck, etc., etc. But anyways, chance of something happening, right? Some event happening. That is what it's actually probability. So what is probability of raining today, right? That's what, let's say we are trying to find out. What do I mean by that? I'm saying what is the chance of, rain happening today or raining today. So this is what we are trying to find out. No? That's what the probability is. Probability of some event is basically chance of that event happening or occurring. So, and in what language do we say this, right? Chance, right? What is the number that we come up with? So we generally talk in percentages. That's one option, right? I say that there is 30% chance, of raining today. There is 30% chance that it will rain today. Or we might talk about in decimals like 0.3, it's equal to this 30% and 0.3. Or maybe in fraction like 3 by 10, there's chance, 3 by 10 as the chance or the probability. So if you see this, probability will generally be range from 0 to 100%, or 0 to 1 in this decimal form, or 0 to 1 in fraction form as well, right? So the maximum for a probability, I can never have a probability of, event happening as 120%. It will never cross 100%. 100% basically means it will happen, right? It will happen. What is the probability of me getting pass marks if I take an exam? Let's say I'm so confident, I say that 100%. I can say at max 100%. I cannot say, I'm 1000% confidence, right? So the only thing you can say, the maximum is 100%, the minimum is 0%. If I have no confidence in me, I am sure that I will definitely fail in the exam. No one can save me, then I would say the probability of me passing the exam is 0%, right? That's how the probabilities would generally range from 0 to 1, 0 to 100% if it's in percentage. And make sure that you keep this in mind, don't ever go beyond 1 or anything. Now, the very simple formula of probability that would help us solve easier questions is this. So probability of an event is number of favorable outcomes by total number of possible outcomes. So what you need to understand is, for whatever the given situation we are in, first I understand the total possible outcomes, right? That is your first step. You need to understand what all are possible outcomes. Then according to the given event, what are my favorable outcomes. Let's say a possible outcomes of a day is, it could be a rainy day or a cold day or sunny day. Let's just assume that these are the three possibilities, right? And I am asking what is the probability of seeing rain today. Let's assume it doesn't rain in the other 2 days at all. So I have three outcomes, right? It could be a rainy day, it could be a cold day, it could be a sunny day or hot day. So I have three possibilities. And the favorable one is because I want rain and that happens only on a rainy day, so I will take 1. That's why it's 1 by 3. That's how you use this formula. The probability of raining today is 1 by 3 based on this. This is a very rudimentary thing. I agree that this is not how you calculate probability in the real rain situations, but that's okay. Just to give you a gist of it, I have given you an example. So let's get to so we can understand this formula better with some examples. So let's look at this. So when two unbiased coins, so what do you mean by unbiased coins, right? Normal coin, if you know it, let me talk about normal coin. What are the possible outcomes? Head or tails, right? Heads or tails. So basically, if I ask you, these are the two possible outcomes, what is the probability of getting heads? It's basically 1 by 2 because it's one favorable outcome and we have two possible outcomes. Similarly, for probability of tails is also 1 by 2. The total outcomes are heads or tails, and the probability, the favorable one is tails. It is going to be correct for an unbiased coin. If we say it's not an unbiased coin, what they mean by this is you can make a coin which is heavier on one side such a way that it will show more of heads or tails. That means if I flip coin for 100 times, I will get, let's say, 70 times heads and 30 times tails. right? Maybe just based on that we can say the probability is not equal, half and half. 100 is too small a sample size, but anyways, the problems would most probably not use non-unbiased. Mostly they will only put the unbiased, don't worry, but they'll always add this word, so don't worry about that. So what are the possible outcomes if I flip two coins, right? So let's say this is my first coin flip and this is my second coin flip. I can get a head, and second time also I get head. I get a head in my first flip, then a tail and then a tail and then a head, right? These are the four outcomes I can see. Head and tail, tail and head, tail and head in my two flips. So what are the possible outcomes for this situation when two coins are flipped? It is four outcomes. So the denominator is 4 for the probability. What is the probability of getting tails in both the tosses? This is not satisfying that, this is not satisfying, this is satisfying, this is not satisfying. There is only one favorable outcome, so the answer is 1 by 4. Right? That's how I do it. When unbiased dice is rolled, what are the possible outcomes? So the possible outcomes are 1, I can get 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. So there are 6 possible outcomes. What is the probability of getting an even number? The favorable ones are even numbers, right? That is 2, 4 and 6. So that means the probability is 3 by 6. That's 1 by 2. That's how we should do them. If we draw two balls at a time from a bag of 3 white and 2 green balls, what are the possible outcomes? You see, this is like something what you need to think of is like white 1, white 2 and white 3, green 1 and green 2 is what I have. So what are the possible outcomes if you ask, right? So it could be like white 1, white 2, white 1, white 3, white 2, white 3. I can get all of this. Or I can get green 1, green 2. Or I can get white 1, green 1, white 1, green 2, white 2, green 1, white 2, green 2, white 3, green 1 and white 3, green 2. These are all the possible outcomes that I can see. See, what is this? The same color I am picking both. All you have to understand is this: picking white 1 and white 2 same as white 2 and white 1. Why? Because it's like we are drawing two balls at a time. So what is picked first and what is picked second is not actually going to be a matter of concern, right? It won't be a different thing. It's all the same. So I can pick 1 and 2 of white, or 1 and 3 of white, or 2 and 3 of white. That's why it's only 3 possibilities. Green 1 and green 2 I can pick, and white 1, green 1, white 1, green 2. So these are all 6 cases where we are picking 1 white and 1 green each. So what is the probability of drawing a white and a green ball each? What are the total possible outcomes? 3, 1 and 6. That's basically 10. So there are 10 possible outcomes, and the favorable ones are basically these 6, right? Which are 1 white and 1 green. So it's basically 6 by 10 is the probability answer.